what we do in the classroom, in the hallways, in the teacher's room, in the office. Those are the things of our profession. We're educators, but what we do when no one is looking, now that's our character. Are we who they say we are? Let's explore that question on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. We love being able to speak into the lives of those who serve at all levels of education. Even yesterday, I had the chance to speak to a group. It was an awards ceremony for a group of educators who had really put in the extra effort to study and to find themselves approved, right? They had studied to be master teachers, and they had produced a portfolio and demonstrated their knowledge of not only content, but instructional strategies and deeper knowledge of students and how to use the data they had back to adjust their instructional strategies. It was a beautiful thing, and to celebrate with them and to see them have such a passion for this noble calling. Man, it was so cool. And so I get to speak some words of encouragement into them as a part of that program. And boy, we just celebrated together, and it was a joy because there is a difference between those educators. And this is what I shared in my message was there's a difference between those who are working for the joy and the job. That one letter makes such a huge difference. And that's why we do this, is to provide maybe a little spark of joy for you as you go through your work, as you commit to the job of inspiring others. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing that through your work as a staff member in the school, a board member, a teacher, a coach, a counselor, working in the business office and human resources, wherever you are. You're a part of a system. You're a part of a commitment to change lives. And we know that talented, energized, engaged educators, they're the game changers and the life changers as well. And so we're thankful for you, and especially because of your commitment to good character, right? A good character is the best tombstone, said Charles Spurgeon, right? Those who loved you and were helped by you, yeah, well, they're going to remember you. They will remember you when the forget-me-nots, when the flowers have all withered, right? Because you're carving your name on hearts and not just on marble. That's what educators do. And in the fast and furious of our technology, in that pace, that technology-enabled expression, right? We tend to forget that those bold opinions shared to the world through Facebook or on emails or on tweets or other messages, right? Those are actually, it's kind of interesting, right? Those opinions, they actually offer a revealing peek into our character. They actually kind of peel back some of the covering on it, and they reveal really what's inside. Our words are a reflection of our deeper selves, and the nature we have developed within us, right? Great character development. It's fundamental to a great book, as well as to a great life. And so we recognize that character, that's where we acquire those our values, right? And our ethics, how we make decisions and our decision making skills and what we really believe in, our morals and our trustworthiness, right? So character is rooted and cultivated through what we habitually believe, what we think, and what we do. This character thing is something that becomes a powerful part, not only of our influence, but also of our true identity, right? And this is why John Wooden said, "Hey, be more concerned with your character than you are with your reputation." Right? And he goes on to explain that because your character is what you really are. That's the kind of the truth, right? But your reputation is that's really merely what others think about you, and that may or may not be true. But it's important to know that there is a difference, but we also recognize that we want to have a reputation as well. So it's not to give up one for the other. But we do want to make sure that we have a focus, right? We are paying attention to these elements that are so important to our work. It's those small, seemingly inconsequential choices that directly shape our character. Who we spend time with, for example, right? It matters because we learn their words. We learn their habits. We learn their mindset. I heard one person say that we're the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. That's fairly interesting, right? I think it was Matthew Kelly who said that. We inevitably become like the people that we spend time with. So our closest colleagues and friends have a disproportionate influence on who we are. We are what we read, what we watch, and what we allow to occupy our minds, because these things daily change our character, right? So we also, what we practice relative to our faith matters because of our perspective. Our perspective serves as a lens through which we interpret the world and view our personal impact on others, right? It changes things. So we as we go through our work, we have to remember, right, that there's a reputation that's built on character. Every tree that does not bear fruit, says Matthew 7:19 through 20. Every tree that does not bear fruit is cut down. It's thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. And that's our challenge, right? What is the fruit? What is the character of which we're known? Now, growing in character requires self-intelligence, requires self-control, as well as self-discipline, right? When we accurately understand ourselves in that self-intelligence, we gain confidence and creativity. We build stronger relationships. We make wiser decisions, and we communicate more effectively. We have found in our research that the most effective educators have a very high degree of self-intelligence. Self-control helps us stay focused, avoiding those distractions and those impulsive behaviors that tend to get us into trouble, right? Those with greater self-discipline are more likely to persevere through the obstacles, those inevitable obstacles, to achieve their long-term goals, developing the resilience and the courage of character. Right? So strive to be a great character inside and out this week, my friend, developing the habits that produce an external reputation, an eternal reputation, right? That's the key to being an effective educator and growing to be your best. Hey, thank you for what you do. Thank you for being in the mix to answer the calling to this noble work, because it makes such a massive difference in the lives of people. Some that you know and you see the impact that you're having, and others you may never know until eternity, where they're able to reflect on and to share with you just what a difference you made in their lives. And it will feed off of your character. A coaching question to consider as you're going through this week, right? Did I do my best to grow in character today? Did I do my best to grow in character today? Love him and lead him, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.